Hey guys, welcome to another Log Talk with Dave. We're here in the outdoor classroom at the British Columbia School of Log Building. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important tools in the log builder's tool chest, our log scribes. We're going to take a look at what they are, what they're used for, and how they work. This style of log building, where the logs are accurately fitted together along their length, is known as full-scribe log building. The underside of the above log is precisely and uniquely fitted to the log below. And the tool that makes the magic happen is the log scribes. Let's go check out how they work. These scribes have one fixed point and one point that can accept a pen or a pencil for marking on the log. The other main feature that all modern log building scribes will have is the addition of the double bubble system, meaning a level that functions in both the plumb and the level plane. And what this does is allows us a much higher level of accuracy that ensures that we are marking with our pencil an exact replication of the pinpoint below. Looking at this demo model here, we can get a better sense of why it's so important that our pinpoint and our pencil point remain precisely stacked in a level fashion. So when we're scribing, what we're doing is we're going to be running our scribes along here. Our lower point is following any humps and bumps of the log below and therefore transferring it in pencil line onto the log above. So you can see that it's critical that if we're not level and we're holding our scribes out of level and we come to a hump like this knot, if we're tipped out, I'm exaggerating of course, but if we're tipped out as we go across, we're going to be drawing the exact proper shape, but it's not going to be properly in line, so that when we cut this log out and we want it to come down, the humps and bumps and the unique shape will not match. It may be too far in, too far out, or too far to one or the other sides, depending on how we were holding our scribes. So as we're scribing, we want to be constantly referring to our bubbles and making sure that we're holding the scribes in the perfect level and plumb plane in both directions. However, every time we change our scribe setting, which we typically do for each log, we have to recalibrate our levels. That may sound like a complicated process, but it's really quite simple with the use of our leveling board. So let's go over and take a look at the leveling board process. Here's our leveling board, which is just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that's been mounted in a plumb fashion in this orientation. So we put it on our post, and we have a small cedar shim here that plumbed us in to perfect in that orientation. Now we need to put a level line on our plumb board to give us the other orientation. So we'll just draw that on. So now we have a representation plumb in this orientation, level in this orientation. Now, this is what we use to register our scribes against as we set our bubbles. So I always commit my pinpoint to the line, then I tip my scribes up so that the pencil point matches the line, and now I'm going to carefully adjust my bubbles in both directions until they're reading perfectly in between the crosshairs. So, finicky process sometimes. So my bubbles are reading perfect in between my crosshairs, and both my pins are in the level orientation this way as well as this way now. So now we'll go back to our model. We can do some scribing, and I can actually pay attention to my bubbles and they'll mean something now. Okay, now that our scribes are calibrated, we register the pin and the pencil against both logs, and then we start working our way down slowly and controlled. Now as I'm going, most of my focus is, or my visual focus is on my bubbles ensuring that both bubbles are staying in the crosshairs, but I also have to be aware that I'm maintaining nice even pressure between my pinpoint and my pencil above. It's a practice skill to be able to maintain the level with both bubbles as you're moving your scribes down. But like anything, doing it over and over, you'll get it. One simple practice technique when you get your scribes, if you don't have any logs yet, just simply hold your scribes with both bubbles in the crosshairs and just start by trying to move them through space, keeping the levels or the bubbles level. Once you get that mastered, then you can just start walking around the house trying to keep your bubbles level. Just watch out for the walls. Thanks for joining us for our brief video on how to use our log scribes. Keep an eye out for an upcoming video where we'll talk about how to cut the belly line that we just scribed. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more log talks with Dave. And if you get tired of practicing your scribing in your house and walking into the walls, think about coming and joining us for a log building course on some real Douglas fir. Until then, be safe and have fun.